Hello, hello, hello. It's been a little bit since I made a video. So I wanted to sit in front of the camera and like vent for a second just because I've been in like a lull, you know? Um, so to get started, I think just overall, um, I feel lost. Um, I don't feel directionless, which is pretty good, but I do feel pretty lost. And what I really mean by that is just I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where what my future looks like at all. I have an idea of the things that I want to do and the things that I want to make and follow through with that, but where I'm going, I have no idea. Yeah, I could not tell you what I'm doing next week. So I feel like I'm just in this new positioning of just being surrounded by like a ton of uncomfortable and unfamiliar experiences. And like overall, I think it's definitely been like valuable and useful for me, but I don't have any comfort. Don't have any comforts that like would speak to me, that would provide that like reassurance that I'm on the right path, like a voice to create it myself, and I really just feel like I'm going through the motions more and more. And currently, my motions is trying to maximize my self-expression and try to be healthier in how I take care of myself, but also connect with others. Because like when I'm thinking about how everything has gone about for me, I've really been paying more attention to how I take care of myself. A couple years ago, I tore my labrum and I had surgery, and that literally changed my entire perspective on how I approach anything and how I follow through with anything. And sometimes I feel like I talk too much about my surgery, but it was really impactful on me. So it's like I need to talk about it. It was a really big thing. It shifted how I live my life for like a good 6 months, and it came with a whole lot of stress with it as well. And like now that I've recovered and I'm in a position now where I'm stronger than I was before, I can look back on it and see that like the perspective that it allows me to have was something that was very necessary so that I could go about accomplishing everything that I want to do in the manners that I want to, you know? So, yeah. But when I'm thinking about being lost, I feel like a lot of people think about it in like a negative attitude, which is understandable. Um, but I try to think about it in a positive light, especially right now. Just because it's like I've been putting myself out there a little bit more. I've been doing new things. I've been reconnecting with myself in new ways, and I've been really trying to just maximize my self expression, literally. Like, so it's like it's uncomfortable putting myself into these new situations and these new forms of expression. It's just like it's stressing me out. There's this other part of me that like really wants to doubt myself, really wants to say I can't do it, really wants to say I won't be successful, and that I won't be able to accomplish my hopes and dreams, which is uncomfortable. But it's like I feel like I need to be able to face that inner self doubt, that inner critic, pretty strongly, because nobody's gonna criticize you as hard as you do, you know. Which is like I feel like is just a truth that I need to practice with. Um, you know, yeah. Uh, so I want to talk about my college experience because I'm coming up on 4 years in college, and I just changed my major. And I just changed my major. So I literally have some people that I started college with that are graduating in like 2 weeks, and it's literally like I'm still doing this, and like I'm not jealous about it or anything. Honestly, it's more. I'm honestly more nervous about like being perceived in a negative light because of it. But it's like, fuck you. Like I didn't talk to you, bro. Like you niggas don't talk to me. I don't talk to you. Like I don't give a fuck what you have to think about me. You know. And it's like I feel like I'm really starting to shed a lot of that skin about how I'm perceived a lot. Because I really struggle with it. I didn't like to be perceived for a very long time. Just because of how I grew up. Um, Actually, this is just gonna be a therapy session. Gonna talk about my childhood. I'm gonna talk about my phone addiction, and I'm gonna talk about my college experience and how this is all interconnected to why I feel lost currently. Yeah. So continuing on about my college experience. Um, yeah. In high school, I was a STEM kid, and I was in this PLTW program, and like even in elementary school, like my family fought to get me into them GT classes so I could like be in accelerated programming and try doing that in middle school too. And then like in high school, I didn't care, and then COVID happened, so I really didn't get to give a fuck anymore. Like I didn't care about school, and I was so happy to not have to care about it in the same light. So then like yeah, I'm doing the PLTW stuff because it's like, oh, engineering, like that's what I'm gonna do in college or whatever. By the time I had to apply to college, I only applied to 3 schools. Only one accepted me, the one I go to now. Um, so yeah, I go to college and then I have a moral crisis and get really depressed, and then I fail my first semester, and I was building my GPA up very slowly because after that first semester I never went back to being a full-time student. I've always been part-time ever since, and I slowly built my GPA back up. And then throughout that experience I dealt with my surgery, and then I did like some soul searching, changed my major from mechanical engineering to finance, and then I found my love of art and love of care. I became an RBT. I work with kids with autism and work on a lot of creative stuff, as you can see on this channel, and my many other projects that you can probably find on like some websites. I don't know. A lot of my stuff isn't interconnected, which kind of sucks, but like it's okay. Yeah. So then I do that, and now we're here today where I've changed my major again to psychology because I really want to work towards becoming a BCBA. And throughout this whole experience, this was an experience of reconnecting with myself and actually finding a passion for how I want to carry myself, because when I entered college, I didn't have a passion for anything I wanted to do. I was literally just like, I'm gonna become an engineer because that's what my family does, and like I'm good at math, and I didn't really give a fuck about it. But ambition was really strong in me that I didn't know I had, and I followed through with it, and now I'm here. But throughout that whole experience of self-discovery, I didn't actually recognize how lost I felt within myself. I for a very long time I put up a ton of masks because I wanted to be accepted socially. I wanted to have my community of people that like understood me and wanted to work towards like a similar goal as me, and I would put masks up to try and connect with people, to try and understand people, and it just would never work out. Straight up. I thought I was cursed for a really long time because I just couldn't have like a solid steady set of friends that I really felt understood me, and I just felt like I was always alone. And I think it was really like I think it really like set in a really deep depression for me, and I didn't recognize it. You know, I think it boiled over once I was in that first semester of college, and like this whole stream of emotions settled into me, and then like I went on this like healing journey of like trying to reconnect with myself, and I dealt with it throughout time. But when I'm looking back as a kid, the way that I was perceived was scarred me. Um, and honestly, I can pretty confidently and comfortably say it started because of my mom. I love you, mom. We have a good relationship now. But back then, I didn't feel the love because she tried to show her love through taking pictures of me by I'm trying to say like chronicalizing it, I guess. Yeah, like chronicalizing it. I'm gonna say that. Is that a word? I don't know. But yeah, she tried to like chronicalize. That doesn't feel right. um, but yeah, like she would take pictures of me all the time, take hundreds of pictures, and post me all over Facebook. You could literally see me grow up through the internet, like a week by week basis type shit, and that like scarred me because my image, my face was all over the internet before I even knew who I was, before I even had my own social media accounts. And then in elementary school, my mom, she was a single mother, and she was really doing her best to support herself and me. And she got into modeling, and someone that I thought was a friend back then literally sent me those pictures and like was making fun of me. He's like, "This is your mom," and that shit. Like, I didn't know what to do about it, and like I just wanted to like just fucking close myself off and like never show my face anywhere, and literally just like never want to be perceived. And like I really carried that pretty deeply into myself. I'd say I carried that till my 20s. I'm 21. I'd say I carried that till I was 20 comfortably. I carried that until I was 20. I don't feel like I came up my shell until this past year. Seriously. It was pretty scarring, and that disconnected me from myself. Not wanting to be perceived really made me not want to understand what I really liked. It made me a very passive person, and it didn't allow me to stick up for myself in any manner, you know. And I really just allowed myself to get lost in the internet. That was where I felt like the outcasting that I felt like more normal. But even then, I wasn't participating in anything online. I was just like always observing the way that I felt I was always observed. So deep, right? But you know, time goes on. Me and my mom argue, and like now like she has her life and I have mine, and like we're in a much healthier position. Okay, like it was a thing. But that's what that was. And I feel like that fear of being seen kind of blocked me off from being able to align myself with what like my path is, you know? Because like ever since I became an RBT, and ever since I really followed through on all of my creative passions, I really feel like there is like a path that I'm following in my life. You know, I don't know where it's going to lead me. I don't know what successes await me, but I really feel like this is like how I'm meant to be living, you know? And like it's healed my confidence. It's healed the way I'm perceived, and it's been healing overall. I've learned a lot about my own boundaries. I've learned a lot about myself and my self-respect and all of that stuff, you know? And with where I am now, Um, the number one thing that I can really like confidently say is that I think like the main source of this feeling of being lost is coming from how I want to disconnect from my phone, because I've grown up around it. I've grown up in front of the camera, and like having control over when the camera is in your face and when you're on it is one thing, but like being in like full control over your attention, how your time is being utilized, and like how you're going about your day to day is something so much deeper to me. And I've been cognizant, like hyper cognizant of like my deep doom scrolling addiction, right? Like, and it's been eating away at me, honestly. Um, and like it's an addiction that I've had ever since I was a child, you know. And it's really hard to like comprehend it or like digest it properly, you know. And it's not just doom scrolling, it's the addictive nature of how the internet is set up, and especially because of how accessible porn was. I found porn in first grade, and that absolutely ruined how I interact with people socially when I was young too. That absolutely ruined the depth of intimacy that I wanted to allow for myself, not just in romantic relationships, but in platonic ones as well. And it wasn't until I was much older where I was actually able to conceptualize the harmful effects that this long-term usage had on my life. It was it was incredibly destructive, honestly. And now that like I can really look back with like a much clearer mind, like it's predatory, you know. Them early Newgrounds YouTubers that also did porn and then made it so easily accessible, they was some vile niggas. They was some vile niggas. But like, it's okay. We learn, we heal, we grow. But like now that I'm looking back, like the early onset like porn addiction that I had in my youth, or I'm still youthful, in my like adolescence, I feel is like directly connected to the doom scrolling issues that I have now. Just because of the ways that like it fucks up your dopamine receptors, you know. I know for me, I'm really taking a better step to like be without my phone more often, you know, literally like remove myself from my phone and take a slower approach to my day to day. And it's actually been really difficult. And I think that's where this main feeling of being lost is coming from, because I'm literally going through withdrawals. I'm literally going through withdrawals, and I'm going through this experience of actively trying to form a new way of living for myself. And it's hard. There's no path for me, you know. And it's really tough to see, because my grandparents are retired right now, and I have actively watched them fall into a doom scrolling cycle as well, you know. Even right now, my grandmother is behind that door or behind that wall, and literally watching like these Chinese dramas with AI dubs, and like she's playing on her phone too. And it's just like we're all so deep in this, and we're missing that connection, you know. And it's like I want to do so much more, but I can't do everything, you know. Like I still have my own life to live, but I still have to care for them in the ways that I can. But like I just got off of work, so I can't fucking sit down and try to be like this fucking familial glue to make sure everybody's living healthy, and also try to make sure I'm living healthy as well. It's too much. It's too much. It has to happen on a collective scale, and we all have to want it at the same time. But yeah, so I just like quickly went over like the 3 stages or 3 points of lost, or the three avenues in which led me to feeling really lost within myself. And yeah. So overall, I think it was a good thing. I think all of those experiences, even with the pain that it came with, was a really good thing. And even now, um, I think, especially right now, the reason why I'm thinking so deeply about this is because I fucked up something. I fucked up a relationship that I liked with a person that was really cool. She was really that fucked it. Oh my god! See, I'm even fumbling my words saying this, right? Because like I was in a situationship with this really, 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 really cool girl, and I fucked it up, Because like, look, I wanted to be lustful. I wanted to be lustful. I wanted to get my dick wet. I'm just being honest. I wanted to get my dick wet. Right? But whenever I was with her, like, I could see myself being in love. And I was like, ooh, but I wasn't good to her. I wasn't good at communicating. And like, that has me reflecting about my own communicative abilities. I wasn't that kind to her. And then I really hurt her, and broke her trust because of the lust that I wanted to feel, and when I was thinking about it, like, yeah, I did that, and it really sucks that I hurt her like that, but I feel like another reason why, or like an excuse as to why I did it, was I wanted the dopamine fix. I like we when we were in our situationship, we never had sex. It was only anything oral, But that person, they was down. So, like, it sucks. It really sucks. And like, I think it was something. I think that entire experience was something really needed. So I could fully commit myself to trying to heal in a deeper manner. Because like, I don't like feeling lost. I don't like feeling like I don't know where I am, even though I'm going to say I like it. I do. I like putting myself in that position, but then once I'm here, I'm like, but it's okay. Because we'll figure out. All right. So I just talked for like 22 minutes. I'm scared to watch this back. I made an earlier version of this that was a much more jovial. I wanted to remake it just because I didn't feel like I don't think I did it justice. So like, to the 9 people that saw that, thank you for watching. But we're making a new one. Anyway, before I go, you should look at my bass guitar that I got last week. Yeah. So his name is Vire, and we're gonna make really awesome music, and I'll be able to, I don't know, I want to make good music. Okay, so you know what happened today? Sorry, I'm needlessly extending the length of this, but I got this email about how my song from my latest EP was gonna get played on this radio station because I submitted my thing for it, and they're like, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, like, you'll be able to see it or to hear your music, and that was happening at work, and I was like, heck yeah. Let's see. I was like, heck yeah. I was like, heck yeah, but it didn't get played. And you know why it didn't get played? Because it was like, it was and like R&B radio station. I was fucking screaming on that shit. Yeah, I'll put a clip in. Is this what love sounds like? Of the music video, and then link it to you guys. Anyway, thank you for listening to me talk. I'll have more videos coming out for you soon. There's a lot of stuff that I've been working on, but I think I'm gonna be continuing to do like these photo booth videos just because they're simple and I get to still upload content and not really give a fuck about anything, because that's me. Yeah, this is kind of serious, sorry, but I hope you don't mind.